Hey y'all, this is Wednesday and it's your girl Lisa. How is everybody doing today? Hello, Lady Lonnie. I hope everybody is having a beautiful hump day. It is the Christmas season. We are getting ready for Old Saint Nick. Hallelujah. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you were all blessed and highly favored. As you can see the title, I was trying my best to figure out what to talk about, y'all. And I really am not talking about T.I. or King or whatever that boy name is. I'm not talking about him. Or him alone. Let me say that again. I'm not talking about him alone. Let me say that. Um I saw a Karamo episode today that made me realize that there is something going on between parents and kids right now. And not in a good way. So that's why that title. Look, that's my sister in the chat. Hello. Um, y'all know I'm very passionate about children and about parents because either you are a parent or you're not. There's no middle ground. There's no in between. There's no gray area. In the game of parenting, there are only absolutes. I am a parent or I am not a parent, and that includes the people that have kids. Because 100% of the time, there are parents that shouldn't be. Can y'all hear me? I feel like y'all can't hear me because y'all know my stuff be iffy at best. Well, I'm back. Can you hear me? Yeah. Is everything situated? Here I am, back like I never left. How y'all doing? It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Happy hump day. If this is your hump day, happy. If not, my bad. My bad. Um, hey Days, hello. How y'all doing? Now, we've had for the past week, you've had some rather public parenting going on with T.I., Tiny, and uh, whew, what's the little boy name? King. Is that his name? Okay. That's not a name, by the way. That's a title. And I wish people start naming their children titles. I do. Because I don't know what he the king of. So let's say that. So that's a public. But I mean, as you go along, you know, I ain't got number time. So daytime TV and talk shows and Dr. Phil and Karamo and more don't come on no more. Ain't got no new episodes. They got old episodes, and you got the out of control teenagers, and you got the babies having babies, and you got the. It's just it's been a lot going on, and I watched a Karamo episode, which made me really want to get into. These are your kids. These are not your sister kids. These are not your mom and daddy kids. These are not your brother kids. These are your children. This is mamas. This is the child that you decided to keep. Daddies, this is the sperm that you decided to donate. These are your kids, and they're your responsibility. They're not even their responsibility because they didn't ask to be here. Now, when they become adults and get out there making decisions and doing stuff, then they still your kids, but it's a different realm. But these are your children. Yes, you did raise them that way. I hear on a regular basis. I didn't raise you like that. I didn't raise you to be that way. I didn't teach you that. Well, who the hell taught it? Who the hell gave King permission to show out on his mom and daddy like he showed out on his mom and daddy? It wasn't his grandmama. That wasn't her responsibility to take, to have, to keep, to take accountability for. She need to take accountability for the boy she had, for T.I. She want to take accountability for a child. Take accountability for that mess she made. But King, that's not her responsibility. So grandmom is not even in discussion. Your mom and daddy. Now with King, he was raised in the public eye. And that in and of itself has an entire different set of problems. Because all we ever see as the public is the good stuff. We see the money and we see the house they were raised in and the benefits they were afforded for having this money and the things they were allowed to do as a child because they had the money to do it, the things that they didn't have to ask for or wait on. They never had to worry about a meal. They never had to worry about what they were going to wear. They never had to worry about how they were going to get anywhere. They never had to worry about being able to afford a book for a class. They never had to worry about whether or not they were going to be able to wear clean clothes to school the next day. They never had to worry about whether or not they were going to have money for food in the morning. So that is what we see. And it's all the good stuff, yay. But there's a whole different set of problems that comes along with that particular good stuff. Desires and things that we don't see because of all the stuff we don't see. We see the good stuff or the relatively good stuff. That's what they put out there. I don't care what anybody tells you. You can have 3,000 different shows. They're not going to put their worst. They're not going to put their reality on reality TV. T.I. and Tiny didn't show their reality. They showed you the stupid shit they wanted you to know that would have made them some attention and the stuff they could get away with. They didn't show you their reality because that little boy is miserable. Their children are miserable. You would think that with all the benefits that were afforded that family, they wouldn't be miserable. But those kids are miserable. Look at all the families we've seen, the Kardashians. Those kids are miserable, and they grew up to be miserable women with unlimited possibilities, with unlimited funds, still miserable. So this little boy on TV, I don't know what he said because he was doing a lot of hollering, and most of it was unintelligible, and most of it was he stand on business and he in the bando. First of all, young man, no, you're not. No, you're not. Your daddy was born in the hood. Your mama came up. You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, wrapped up in a platinum diaper, skating on diamond skates. You didn't come up in shit. You came up not wanting for nothing and taking accountability for nothing. And they don't understand that does not help your children. That does not help your children. Them not taking accountability for their actions and the things that they do. It does not make well balanced children. It doesn't make happy children. Hold on, y'all. I ain't looking. And y'all know this baby Friday, so she at work. So hold on, y'all. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I wouldn't. Hold on, let me go up. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I wouldn't because they don't have to earn anything. There's no self gratification when you don't earn anything. Right. But it's just not about them earning anything. The reality is, think about it, y'all. The reality is that growing up, when I had Nick, I didn't necessarily want him to have more than I had. I wanted him to have what I had. I didn't want for anything. I wasn't worried about the next meal or the roof over my head or where my clothes were coming from. I didn't do any of that when I was growing up. I was well educated. I had everything I wanted, everything I thought I wanted. And I just had my little grandmama take care of me. Now, what things I wanted to change about what she did as opposed to what I did for him with him, yes, because she was raised in an entirely different era, and I was almost 40 when I had him. So yes, there were certain things that I wish I could have done with my parents, my grandmother and my parents, because my grandma was not, she was my mama, but she wasn't my parent. That wasn't her responsibility. Somebody else gave her that responsibility, and she took that responsibility, and she rode that responsibility like a champ, but it wasn't hers. But what I wanted him to have was at least what I had. The reality is, we go into this kid thing. I want my children to have so much more than I had, not realizing that, yes, they can have more than you had, but they still won't be happy if that's not what they're looking for. King is looking for something, y'all. I don't know how old this little boy is. Hold on, let me look up. I don't keep up with stuff like that. My social media is not my my social media is TikTok and whatever old ass Maury episode I know. I don't do like reality shows, not for real, because I don't really care about you like that. But hold on, let me see, because I don't know how old he is. Alright. He's 19. He's 19 years old. And he's a grown up. That don't mean he ain't a kid no more. And he's looking for something. At 19, and you live in a situation you live in, and you have the I can't think of the word I'm trying to use. The benefits, most I can think of the benefits. You have access to everything. You have access to money. You have access to um, celebrities. You have access to education. There's not a college you can't pay for yourself to go to if that's what you wanted to do. There's not an industry you couldn't get the knowledge to be in if that's what you wanted to do. You know about music because that's what you grew up with. And all of this growing up and being T.I. and Tiny Child, you didn't learn the music industry if that's what you wanted to be in. But he's still looking for something. He wants something. And he mad with his parents about it. And we laughing and joking and making all these memes about this funny looking little boy. And yes, they funny. And I laugh, but I also understand that these are our kids. Sink or swim, fly or fall. These are our kids. It's our responsibility. And yes, you did raise them that way. You raised them that way. Because if you didn't raise them that way, why he acting like that? You know how many times y'all go with me? How many times y'all heard parents on these talk shows on Maury or Paternity Court or Judge Mathis or shit, Dr. Phil? I didn't raise him that way. I didn't raise her like that. Well, who did? That's you. Ignoring them when they wanted to talk to you because you felt like you didn't have time, because you felt like what you was doing was more important because you was a parent. I watched a 14-year-old girl today and her mom interact on Karamo. And the mother, and this is the one time, because normally I agree with Karamo. Normally Karamo hits the mark. Normally he's Karamo is a I'm gonna tell you about yourself kind of talk show host, and he goes as far as he can go because it's a reality. This is TV. You can't go but so far. You can't piss off of so many people if you want to stay on TV. But normally he does. He tells you about yourself. But for some reason, this mother and this daughter had him pulling back. He said I was bringing back tears. I was pissed off because I'm listening to how this mama is talking about her daughter. And if she's talking about her daughter and talking to her daughter on television this way, can you imagine how she's speaking to her in real life? Because if she said, it's my kid, but if you acting like a bitch, I'm gonna call you a motherfucking bitch. And that's exactly how she said it. And you could tell the little girl is that quiet. The little girl is quiet. She came out quiet. She didn't raise her voice to her mom. And her mom was bouncing in the chair like the little girl had stole her man. The mama said that I wish she was a little and here's how I know that when they go home, what needed to change was not gonna change enough because the mama said if she was a boy, I could just let her go and run away and do what she want to do. She don't have the same problem. She wouldn't have the same problems if she was a boy. What? This is your child. This your child. First of all, you just called her a bitch 3 times. Excuse me, y'all. On nationwide TV. You bouncing and jumping in this chair like you want to fight her. Like y'all been enemies y'all whole life and you want to fight her now that y'all together on this show. That's how she was acting. Why you have her? You had no intention of changing how you act and who you were. Why you bring this little girl into the world? Why are you acting the way you acting toward this little girl and then not expecting her to act the way she's acting? We keep telling kids to respect us because we're your parents. What I say goes. If I tell you to do it, do it. Right after you done called me a bitch 3 times. Ma'am, I'm not your child. I'm some hoe on the street because clearly you don't know who you're talking to. So I'm not going to act like I'm not going to do what you tell me to do because you don't treat me like I'm your child. That old school ass whooping slavery mentality, it didn't fix none of us. I'm not the way I am because my mama whooped my ass. I'm the way I am because of other values that she instilled in me and the love I had for her. For not just the things she did to me, because of what she meant to me. But she might have whooped my ass, but my mama also didn't call me a bitch. She didn't call me out my name. She didn't act like I was one of her homeboys or homegirls or somebody she wanted to fight. She acted like my parent. I am 56. Anybody in my age group, I would like for you to raise your hands and tell me that when your mama whooped your ass that first time, that was the last time you ever did something wrong. Anybody? One ass whooping, all it took. No, 2. Or you just kept getting your ass whooped and doing what you wanted to do until you realized what was wrong and what was going on. That's one of the things I changed. I knew ass whooping didn't work for me. I just be beating on somebody So I can go to jail because as soon as his little light skinned ass go to school and got one mark on him, they're gonna be like, here comes CPS knocking on the door. Man, we got a report. These kids are not your competition. Your children are not the girls you grew up with. Your children are not your friends. They're not your homies. Your child is not your best friend. I hear people say that all the time, and the reality is that's not true. Every mother I've heard say that my daughter is my best friend, and she tells me everything has missed a pregnancy, has missed a boyfriend, because they don't tell you everything. Because you're not their best friend. Because you're their mom. I wasn't best friends with my mom, but she was the love of my life. I miss her to this day. I see her face in people to this day. But she was not my best friend. She was my mom. Your child is not your best friend. Your child is your child. And they look to you for guidance. They look to you for safety. They look to you for comfort. They look to you for finances. They look to you for wisdom and knowledge. You look at your kid and see a competitor or an enemy. It's time to take your ass out the equation because you're not helping these kids out. Tom King, whatever his name is, had every amenity afforded somebody who grew up in a family of wealth, and he still is miserable, screaming about all this hood shit that he is. What hood did you grow up in, sir? The one that your daddy took you to every night again? The one your grandmama didn't live in no more because your daddy bought a house? Your mama had money for your daddy. Sir, you never, the hood, what hood? The wire from the TV? Shit, I was out for you was born too. What are we doing to these children? I don't see what nobody's saying, baby. You not reading? No. I'll never read the chat because then I'll stop. I'm trying to take my I don't. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I don't read the chat, so hello. Hold on. You know, who do you know who don't have to work for anything to appreciate what they have? He's looking for discipline and structure. Yeah, whenever there's none, it's always unhappy. Her boy would have probably been in jail or something because she just said that she just let him go. Yes, that was the thing that got me. Karamo asked her is if you would have wished that she was a little boy. And she said, yeah. She said, because I wouldn't have to worry about him. What? I, yeah, mm-mm. I be want to I wish that you could just say anything and it happened, but because I really want, I just, why? I would like for somebody to tell me why people have kids they don't really want. It can't, I would love for somebody to tell me why do people have kids they don't really want. You knew you didn't have no money before this baby came out of you. You knew you were struggling before the kid got here. You knew you were living paycheck to paycheck, house to house, maybe no job, didn't have anything going on for you. So you brought the baby into the world. And now it's her fault that's what's going on in your life. Is that what I'm getting? We can go back and forth about pro-choice, pro-life. We can go back and forth with that all day long. We can go back and forth with that until hell freezes over and then thaws out and then freezes again. But the reality is that you cannot tell me, you cannot tell me that bringing children into the world for them to be abused, for them to be tortured, for them to be left to the side, for them to be neglected, for them to be, it's better than for them not to be here at all. We use children like dice. We just be throwing children like we trying to hit the, what is the shit on the craps? What's craps? What's the thing? What, try to hit 7-Eleven? Somebody tell me, I don't know. Right. Now I think you crap out. When somebody shooting the dice, people just be using kids like dice. I'm gonna roll the dice. Okay, I got a 2. I got a 3. I don't know how. Somebody tell me how dice go. Shit. Oh well, let me roll them again. And now you got these mouths to feed. You got these bodies to clothe. You got these minds to import knowledge to. You got these bodies to find somewhere to stay. I I don't know. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I watched this little boy scream and holler, and I guess he wanted to fight T.I. Was that he wanted to fight T.I.? I just, I don't get it. And we all making jokes about it. It's all funny, hee hee ha ha. Now folks talking about that it ain't T.I.'s son, that that's somebody else's son. I sent you the thing. Look on your phone. Look on the TikTok I sent you. I think it's the last one I sent you. It just it's time after time. It's just like it it's crazy, y'all. Kids grow up to be adults. They grow up to be the people that your children have to be around. They grow up to be the doctors that your children have to go see. They grow up to be police officers that hold your kid's life in their hands. They grow up to be whatever.
What's up, Barbara?
And we don't take into consideration what we're putting out in the world.
I'll mute you for a minute. Turn your thing down. All right, so I'm listening to what Lisa's talking about, and I was on another person's live stream throughout the week, and I've just been following it since last week. I think this episode happened last week, and people have been just doing commentary on it. I don't really like doing commentary on sectors that's negative, but this particular incident that happened had to do with a child. The child is apparently autistic. And you gotta be careful when you on live stream and you thought you mute your mic, but you didn't. And what happened was I had to go back and listen because I just wanted to make sure I heard what I heard. Because you know, when I listen to people's live streams, I go back and forth and be like, let me see what they say about why did that happen and why did this happen. That's what I do. But to make sure what I heard correctly, I was like, oh, this really happened. So the child is autistic, and you're on a live stream late at night, and the child should be in bed, and then the child is climbing on top of the refrigerator, the freezer, the refrigerator up to the countertop over the refrigerator, and the child is 4 years old. But you feel like you want to be on YouTube entertaining something that's not even as important as your child, you know. And then the child, climbing up on stuff, and you get mad. So you thought you got on mute, but you wasn't on mute. So now you got hundreds of people, maybe 1,000 or whatever, because by the time it got around, everybody was talking about it. I was like, this woman cussed the child out and beat the child, thinking she was on mute. Then she comes back on other people's channel and say, no, it wasn't like that. I wasn't hitting her. But when you hear it, you might not can't see it, but you can hear what's actually going on. So to me, I'm like, what's more important? You on YouTube, entertaining negativity stuff, and your child is up late at night. Keep in mind, it's late at night. It's after 10 o'clock. Your kid should be in bed, sleep, period. She found social media more important than her child, but then you want to cuss your child out and beat your child, thinking you push the mute button on a live stream. And back to what Lisa was talking about, I mean, why you had this, if you don't want this kid and you calling this kid out their name and cussing them out, and the she's only 4 years old, why you have her? Why don't you just let somebody that's going to take care of her, since you seem like you really don't like her, and that's your kid. So I don't get it.
Well, the first thing they say with, I don't not love my child. I love my child. And oh shit, I'm still muted. Am I muted? Oh, can y'all hear me? Hey, yeah. Okay, it's there. You can hear me. Um, I don't. Yeah, I want. I can't find the words I'm trying to say because I'm trying to say the right thing. You know what I mean? Because I don't know these people. I don't listen to these people. I didn't hear it. I do know that children with special needs have a different set of problems. Adding on top of the regular, just I'm trying to take care of this kid problem. And I come to find out after I had Nick that nobody is really ready to be a parent. You think you are? You think that I got this, I got this. This is gonna be easy, easy peasy. I love kids and kids love me, and it's not. It is sitting there crying in the dark so your kid won't see you. It's not eating today so that your kid can take a lunch to school tomorrow. This is the facts of the world. And this is not everybody. This is not everybody. Like I said, I did not grow up like that. I didn't have to worry about no meal coming nowhere. I didn't have to worry about none of that. But I have had to worry about that since I had my kid. Because as times change, money changes. What you could do back in I was born in 67. What you could do back in 1967 with $5, you can't do in 2023 with $100. As times change, everything changes. But as a parent, your kids don't know that. I was lucky enough for my child not to have any situations that were outside of what is considered the norm. I didn't have any blah, blah, blah. I didn't have any special education situations. I didn't have any unique disabilities. He didn't need any, just as simple as speech therapy. It's some children need something as simple as speech therapy because maybe they have a lisp or something that, if not caught early, can be a problem when they get older. So luckily, I didn't have any of those things. So I just had to worry about being a single parent, trying to make sure that my child had at least what I had growing up. But you got to also understand that I knew that there were going to be days that I was crying because I couldn't give him more than I had. And that's just, it's what happens. But he don't know about that. I'm gonna tell you something. And also, I didn't lie to him either. When he would ask for something, if it wasn't within my financial reach right then, I would tell him, I'll get it for you, baby, when I can. It's not, mommy can't get it right now, but she'll get it when she can. And he was like, okay. And the most he did was come, can we get this, mama? Sure, we can get that. Can we get this? Not today, but we'll get it. And he was okay with that. I didn't overpromise and I didn't underdeliver. I did what I could do. I made sure that the things that I could do, he had in abundance. My time, my love, my attention, my stability, my steady hand, my laughing at his jokes, my listening to him talk for 4 and 5 hours at a time, mostly not knowing half of what he's saying, but I agree, yay. Yeah, you my kid. Okay, what you said. I'm not perfect. I'm not by any means. There's a couple times I want to choke slam him. A few times I thought about maybe burying him in the backyard. I was raised with, I brought you in this world, I can take you out, but I didn't. As you can see, he made it to 18. He's here. About to be 19. I'm not a perfect parent. I didn't have that kind of money. I hustled. I worked. I robbed Peter, stole from Paul, paid a couple other folks, and then robbed them too. Because that was my job as a parent, to make sure, at the best of my abilities, that I was there for him at every turn. My child was never sporty, so it wasn't like he didn't do football and basketball, not because I didn't have the money to do it, because he didn't want to do it. I would have figured it out. I would have found programs for him. I am not that chick. I promise you, I'm too good for a chick. I'm not too good for anything, because I started working at the age of 17. I had my son at 37. I worked for 20 years to be able to pay into programs when I needed. So I'm not that chick. If my baby wanted to play Pee Wee, we'd have found a Pee Wee, and I'd have found somebody to pay for it. Or I'd have found a grant or something. Keep these kids off the streets. Keep these kids out of trouble. But he wasn't a sporty kid. That wasn't what he was. It wasn't his thing. Never one time did he come to me and go, "Mom, I just need to be a football player." He was a computer kid. So you know what I did? We always had one. He was 3 years old. He could pull up stuff like I can now. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I be trying to put it down because I get side. I don't know what the word I was trying to say. Money doesn't make a good parent. We were poor growing up. My parents were wonderful. That old saying that you keep doing it till you get it right. think she thought this lady. Hold on. I think the lady loves her job but lost her temper. Unfortunately, also has other issues too. Oh, okay. So Robert knows who they're talking about. All right. I thought it's the thought of having and the perception of having. Yeah. Hold on. The lady allegedly get $1,000 a week, so money shouldn't be a problem if that's true. I think she thought having a child would solve her problems. I just don't know. She has several children. A thousand. Let me tell y'all what $1,000 a week does. Let me tell you, it's true that, but she has more than one child. How many kids she got? How many kids she got? Kids, kids is expensive. Lady said something. Money doesn't make a good parent. We were poor when my parents were wonderful. Yeah, $1,000 and $4,000 a month sounds amazing. If you got one child with no issue, if you don't have to pay rent, because a lot of places rent is $3,000-$4,000 a month. If you don't have to pay rent, if you ain't got to pay lights, water, gas, cell phone, internet. If she playing, if she, it's $4,000 sounds like a lot until you have to pay bills, and then you got kids, and then she has a special needs child. $4,000 for an autistic child. That's daycare, unless she don't work. I mean, it sounds it. But like I said, the money is somebody. Yeah, I think who that said. Who I think it was Fowler said. Hold on. Vibrant. He said. I said vibrant. She doesn't work. Okay. Oh, the others are with their baby daddy. So that's the only child that's with her. Hold on. Somebody said they had. I think yeah. Okay. But I just like I said, I don't know the situation, but I think it's our duty. Is I don't know. I guess I think it's our duty as parents to do what we can, and I just at 4 years old, I couldn't see myself cussing Nick out. I couldn't see myself hit. Nick climbed on everything. I used to call him stunt dog because he would climb on top of shit and jump off of it. I'd be like, oh shit, you just gonna break something. You just trying to break something.
We'll fix it.
I don't. I don't want to. Okay, I'm gonna look at this. Um, hold on. Okay. All right, I'm gonna start looking here. Here we go. How many children? How many children you have? You're never prepared. It. It oh, she doesn't always tell the truth, and she does. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I come to realize that you're never prepared for shit. We think we are. We think that we got this job and this house and this amount of money, we're ready. And then the kid get here, you look at it like, oh, what is this alien in my house? I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't want to put anybody down because parenting is a very hard job. Being somebody parent is very hard. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are no off days. There are no there are no sick days. There are no holiday days. There are people that you can take the baby to, but then they want you to come get your baby as soon as you can. You can, I just, it is, and the only thanks you have with the job is your baby. It's a smile on your baby's face. And when your baby hugs you, Nick is 18, and sometimes I just hug him and I kiss him because he's there. And I look at him and I realize I did all right. I didn't fuck him up too bad. And I look at him and I wish I could have did 3 million times more things for him. And that's what parenting is. It's giving them 3 million things and wishing you can get them 3 million more. It's thinking of something you did back when they were 2 and they 25 and you going, I shouldn't have did that. That might have fucked my baby up. Failed. But your baby's now grown, happy, and doing its own thing. It is having intense discussions with your 2-year old, not understanding a word, but understanding everything you just said. What you did. Hold on. You gave him, hold on. Yeah, that's the thing. It is, but see, that's what they need. And I hate to say things, and it feels like that I am pro-choice. Let me start with that. I'm pro-choice. I think it is every woman's right to choose what she does with her body, how many children she has. I think it is a woman's choice. I don't lay on the side of religion or morality. I just think that it's not up to me to live somebody else's life. So I can't dictate what they do with the life that they're living. And I think if we all live that way, I think that that would be a start. I can't dictate what somebody else does. I can offer my opinion. I can be judgmental because the second lie that everybody tells after they say I don't tell lies is that I don't judge. I don't judge. I'm not judging. Here we are. Anyway, if you can't do your best for your kids, if you are not ready to not be selfish, if you still think of yourself first, if you know your temper is not made for a little one in your house, if you know that you're not a mushy, gushy, huggy, lovey dovey, oh, it's about structure, security, discipline. These kids need parents and real parents, and not someone in control. Yes, yes, yes. If you know that you're not ready for the things, if you know that you're not ready to become a parent, period, end of discussion. Not a good parent, not a bad parent, but a parent. A 24-hour a day, 7 day a week for the rest of your life, mama, daddy, period. Then you should have the ability not to bring this child into the world so that you can destroy it inch by inch, minute by minute. I watch children I watch social media and I watch people use their children as props, as background scenery for videos. I watch children cry not because they want to go to their parent, but because people are trying to get them to go to their parent. I watch young men not being taught how to be young men, and I watch little girls vilified for being little girls. I watch people use babies like pocketbooks, like status symbols. I watch kids parenting their siblings. I worked y'all know I worked at the commissary. I worked on the base. And there was this lady in there, and I think she had 7 kids. I want to say she had 7. And she looked very young. She looked like she was the oldest of her kids. And somebody said something. Somebody said something to her about um the older ones can they were making a joke. Cause old people don't give a shit about what they say. So it was an older person saying, "Ooh, the old ones must take care of the young ones." She said, "Yeah." She said, "That's why I had them like this, so that the older ones could take care of the young kids." And I'm sitting there on my register going, "What? You had more babies to take care of the babies that you wasn't taking care of? What? Oh, I no." And I sat there, and that stuck with me for a minute because she had a newborn baby. She had a baby that could barely sit up to look to be about between 8 to 10 months old. She had a toddler. She had something that looks a little older than a toddler, all the way up to a teenager. Now, I applaud anybody want to have that many children. Yay to you. That's not my thing, but hey. But I'd be damned if you're gonna sit up there and say out loud to where people can hear it that you had these to take care of these. Well, I just kept having them. What? I don't understand. So your children can't be children because they have to be parents. Because you had too many children to parent. Does nobody see nothing wrong with it? Am I the only person that doesn't understand that logic? If you have too many children to parent, that your children have to parent your children, then maybe you shouldn't have that many kids. It's simple. The stork does not drop kids off willy-nilly. The stork don't drop them off. The birds and the bees ain't got shit to do with it. You have your children. You make a conscious decision to have sex unprotected. You make a conscious decision to not use any birth control, to not take your pill, to take out your IUD, not to get your shot, to pull the ring out. You do all that and you get them here. But I can't parent them, so I'm gonna have another one. So in a few years, that one can help me with that one. But you know what? Let me have another one. Who is doing this? Who are making these decisions? Can somebody help me? I'm watching children that should be happy go lucky and doing this, and the third, growing up in the public eye, and I don't see any happiness and joy. I see, I was watching it's a lot of kid stuff going on today because maybe because I was gonna do this particular topic. So I was watching a little excerpt of Dr. Phil, and it was about social media influencers and the importance they think of themselves. And this young man was on there talking about how important he was because he had these many followers. And he said he detached from his family because his family did not have enough followers to be his family. I did not understand what he said, but I understood what he said because he said, yeah, they're not important enough to be my family. I, I, what are you supposed to do with that information? he said that he's so well known and that he's super important and that you got to have so many followers. Hey, Rico. And you got to have X amount of followers be his, to be a part of his family. And I'm sitting up there going, is this really what it is? I don't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Never have. I've seen excerpts and I've seen memes and I've seen people posting them on TikTok. Normally I scroll by and I have watched, but the one running theme is that none of the sisters look happy. They have everything. They have fixed their bodies and changed their faces and they're not happy. Kim is not happy. Chloe, you are Khloe Kardashian, but you allow Tristan, whatever his name is, to do you any old kind of way publicly. Kylie Jenner don't even look like she belonged to that family no more. I just, I'm looking, I'm like, all of this, and y'all ain't happy. I'm letting experience things himself. There are some things that parents don't need to give their children. Wait a minute, what? I must have missed something. Hold on. Hold on. I'm glad he. I'm glad he can experience things himself. There's some things parents don't need to give their children. I'm confused, Tree. Help us out. Um, I feel like I missed something before that statement. Um, hold on, y'all. Let me do something real quick. Oh, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna put the link up there if anybody want to get on the panel. I think I'm gonna put the link. Let me do it for my phone. Y'all know what? I don't know why I be trying to do stuff because I'm not good at it. Hold on, y'all. Okay, I did it. All right, so if anybody want to jump on the panel, y'all can. What was I about to say? Thank you, Leilani. I don't know why I asked you. My bad. I know I should have asked you. I'm sorry. All right. But I don't know. I got on here with the intention of being all mad, but I'm not mad. I'm sad. I'm sad that the children have to go through the things they go through. I'm sad that parents don't feel like they have any other choice. I'm sad that we don't have a village anymore where the kids could stop at the next door neighbor house and things. And I'm sad that all children know is the internet, and they don't know about twirling the phone cord when they're talking to somebody they like. And they don't know about looking for their friends and finding you find your friends when you find all the bikes in the front yard of one house. I'm sad that kids don't fight on Wednesday and go to the game on Friday anymore. I'm sad that parents don't take responsibility for what they do to their kids. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's getting out of being my fault. Nick is getting to the place where he's getting old enough where some stuff ain't my fault no, to where it's all him. But when he was a kid, it's my fault. I didn't teach it to him. I didn't give him the experience. I didn't show him. I didn't tell him. I didn't make it available to him. Instead of showing him compassion and discipline, I showed him my ass. I treated him like a stranger, a homeboy, not like my kid. It's my fault. It's your fault. You did raise him like that. You did raise them to think that no didn't apply to them. You did raise them to think that they were better than everybody else. You did raise them to think that all the girls want you. You did raise her to think that none of the girls like you because you're this, because you're that, because you're too pretty, you're too smart. You did give the child your dreams instead of paying attention to theirs. You did ignore the signs. You did. You did use your child as a substitute for a relationship, an adult relationship. Treating your son like your boyfriend or your daughter like your enemy. That's not a flex. That's not a parenting style. That's a recipe for the disaster. Daddy is treating your sons like they could do anything and like your daughters were not smart enough, were not strong enough, were not enough. Hey, Miss Kirkland, you did. You did raise that child. You did raise her to not know who her child's father is. You did raise him to call women bitches and hoes. Because see, when he did it when he was little, you laughed about it and thought it was funny. When she was telling you that I need help, I need to talk to somebody, you just brushed it off. You did do it. Yeah, you did. Take responsibility for it. Do something about it. But don't keep saying I didn't raise you like that. Who else did? Who raised you? The raising fairy? The baby fairy came in there and raised them while you weren't looking. Everything you taught, all the good stuff you taught them, they got rid of. All the manners and the respect and knowledge that you gave your children, somebody came and scooped it out of when you weren't looking. Mm. Thank you, Miss Kirkland. You did raise them that way. I'm gonna tell you something else. Every time you talk to your child like they your friend, they gonna treat you like they your friend. Every time you square up on your child like you want to fight them for real, they gonna treat you like somebody they want to fight. Mamas, every time you treat your child like he your date, your son like he your date somewhere. I'm on a date with my son. No, you took your child out to eat. When you decide you do want to date and you don't understand why this child over here telling this man that you ain't my motherfucking daddy, you'll understand then. Mamas, when you think your daughters want every man you bring to the house, maybe you bringing too many men to the house. I watched the show. I guess it started last night. I watched the it's a show called FBI True. I think it's true. It's true FBI stories. And it was the story of a 13-year-old, 14-year-old little girl who went missing. And it was in Dubuque. You speaking about how you wanted to give your son 3 me. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. I'm here. I'm with you now. We're back eye to eye. Dubuque, Indiana, Illinois. I don't know where it was, but it was I felt like it should have been somewhere, Idaho or Iowa, but I don't know. It's in the middle, it's in the Midwest. And they were in a relatively rural area. Think Appalachian Mountain kind of situation. And the little girl was 14 and she went missing. And they took, I want to say, 2 or 3 years before they realized that little girl was not missing. Iowa. See, it was Iowa and Illinois or Iowa and Indiana. It was two I states together, and they both had. It was like Dubuque and Dubuque, but it was like a little. I don't know. Anyway, they're one of them states like East St. Louis, like St. Louis, and then East St. Louis, Illinois. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them states. Um, but anyway, so she went missing. They found a runaway note in a car. Girl, I don't know. They found a I'm running away note in the car. She's 14. Now, I'm not a professor. I'm not the police, but even if she is a runaway at 14, she should still be a critical missing because at 14, she's not an adult. She can't sign a contract. She can't get a job. She can't drive a car. She didn't drive herself off. She left with no shoes, no jacket, no phone, nothing. She just left with her pajama pants on, a shirt, and that's how she ran away. And that's how the cops treated it for the first few months. They had the runaway note. Wasn't nobody looking for her. Now, this is the dynamic that was in the house. It was the mama's husband, the mama's boyfriend, a younger child, the older child, and her. And it was also a stepsister. She'll come to play in a second. So I'm watching these people talk about this little girl be gone, and I'm not seeing anybody stressing over the fact that a 14-year-old girl, and she wasn't. I know at 14, I looked older. At 14, I looked like I could have been 16 to 18. At 14, I filled out when I was first starting my teenage years. So at 14, I looked a little bit older. She looked like a child. She looked like a child. She looked like a chubby little pudgy child. She looked like she could have been in middle school. True that. So, and she had a very big s- social media presence. She was always online. This was back when, this was back in 2011, I think, when the internet was popping, was just not popping up. Everybody wanted to make TikTok, not TikTok. Everybody wanted to make YouTube videos and be a superstar. So she was very into a social media presence. This also comes into play into this. So they finally, the FBI, so what it is, it's a small town. So they just, pass the information to the FBI. This sits on somebody's desk for 6 months. Yes. This sits on somebody's desk for 6 months before an agent from the sex crimes, FBI sex crimes unit, picks it up, looks at it, and said, "Let me look into this." So she looks at the note and she looks at the information in the folder. She looks at the dynamic of the family. She looks at the fact that the girl left without shoes, without a jacket, without her phone, and that there's been no sightings or anything of this little girl since she left 6 months ago. So they finally pick it back up and they do a little, I guess, investigating. Still can't find her. Now nobody's contacted her friends. Nobody's talked to their, this is a whole FBI thing. There wasn't a whole lot of, the parents weren't always checking up on her. It was ridiculous. Woo! You're scared. My bad. The parents were checking up on her. Nothing. It was like if Nick go to school, he goes to school into class one day a week, and that's today. And he's there all day. He does his whole school jam thing, the whole school jamming, include hanging out with his little friends. They do Black Student Union. They do a whole thing. So on Wednesday, they there from like 9 o'clock, 8. He's like early in the morning to like 4 or 5. If he stays later, he'll text me. If he don't text me, well, true that. He's well stalked. But if he don't text me, he's stalked. I hit him with a text. If you're gonna be late, let me know. And he'll hit me right back. Oh shit, we hanging out. We're going to get something to eat. Da 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 da. Whoop de whoop. And he's, huh? Well, he probably said, "Oh shit," when I wasn't there with his friends. Oh shit, I ain't take. Yeah. Oh shit, I ain't take my mama. You know. Oh shit, I ain't take my mama. That's what he said. She's 14. Still nobody's paying attention. This case does not come to fruition until now. She got missing in 2011. The case does not come to an end until 2013. In this time, there has been nothing of this little girl. Now I'm gonna repeat what I said. This child left her house with no shoes, no jacket, no phone, no purse, no money, nothing. So how has she been able to take care of herself anywhere? Did nobody go check with her friends? So finally, somebody checked with a friend of hers in Wisconsin. Now, Leilani, now we decided to where she living is down in Dubuque somewhere, Iowa, Illinois, one of them. I don't know which one it was. It was a country, wherever. She's got a friend online that's in Wisconsin. It's months before somebody go talk to this little girl. And the little girl told the agent that went and talked to her, because this was another agent. The little girl told the agent that went and talked to her, and he said that he talked to her for a few minutes, and then she just busted out crying. And she told him, if I have not been in contact with her, she's dead. Now that's what her friend said. And he was like, "Oh shit, this little girl is dead." That's what he said. He actually said, "Oh shit, this little girl dead," on the TV. They bleeped it out, but still. He went back to the home office and he told somebody else who's working on the same case, I think this little girl is dead. He said when he went into the office and the other agent was there with him, who he said it to, he was like, she was like, I saw the look on his face. And he was like, I think this little girl is dead. So now because they think she's dead, now they go back and go over the evidence. But I'm like, you ain't going over the evidence before now. She's 14. It's not just parents, it's society. She's 14. Nobody is thinking that they should be out here looking for this 14-year-old little girl, even if she did run away. You see her house dynamic is messed up. You see her family dynamic is messed up. Her real daddy ain't there. It's two men that her mama having sex with in the house. She has an older brother who they said is violent, and she has younger siblings. So even if she did run away, y'all don't want to know where she at. Y'all don't want to know how a 14-year-old left out of a house with no shoes and no purse and no phone, and how she could just take care of herself all of a sudden. Is this how we do our children? So fast forward, they started looking at the videos because, like I said, remember earlier, the little girl was on social media. What it was just a lot of sitting by my computer making videos, just doing stupid stuff. She recorded a lot of her life. So in one video, you see her having a conversation with an adult male who's very familiar with her, who's playing with her and touching on her like they are adults in a relationship. Not like his stepdaughter, not like she's 14. Now you just not seeing this. Close to a year later, she said on the video, she said, be careful, I'm taping. He said, I don't care. So now, fast forward some more. After they get all this information, because you know they gotta investigate. Takes a long time. So fast forward, they decide they're gonna bring in the stepfather to take a polygraph for questioning. They bring the stepfather in. So they bring the stepfather down to the precinct, and the FBI agent gets a call from the local police saying, y'all come down here in a hurry. Hurry up, get down here. And he's like, what? He said, is something going on with your case with the little girl? He said he got in the car, went down there, and they decided that this agent, who really he was more white collar agent, but he wanted to get into the missing persons aspect of the FBI. So they decided to let him question the stepfather. And no sooner than he sits down and does his, I'm here for you, man, shtick. Because that's how they get you to do. When you go to a police station and they're questioning you, they very rarely do the bad cop. It's always the good cop and the super good cop. The cop that's looking out for you, the cop that's there for you, the cop that's holding out his hand for you and going to pray for you is the one who put your ass in jail, by the way. But that's another story for another day. So no sooner than the FBI agent sits down, old boy says, you got me. You got your man. This is a year later. A whole year later. He been sitting there chilling at the house while y'all were investigating. He says, this is the first story. Him and the little girl ran outside. He chased her outside and they was playing. They were playing chasing. Now, I'm from the country. I was born. I was born. I wasn't born in the country, but I was raised in it. I'm country raised, and we'll go outside in our shoes. We'll run to the car with no shoes on. You know what I'm saying? We'll go outside and play in the rain with no shoes on, depending upon how our backyard is and if we got animals or whatever. But we don't play without our shoes on, especially not in the grass. So you want us to believe that y'all out there, you out there playing with a 14-year-old with no shoes on, no jacket on? Okay. All right. So that was his first story. And they ran in the woods. And they ran into the woods. They ran into the woods, y'all, while they was playing. Okay. Okay. They ran into the woods while they was playing. And the next thing he know, he was standing over her body. This is his first story. Now we have confirmed that the little girl is dead. Been dead since the day that she went missing. She was dead on that day. But nobody gave a shit. Not her mama. Her mama still laying down with her. Well, I guess she was laying down with him because she had her boyfriend in the house too. Hell, I don't know how that worked out. And her kids. So he tells a story that they were just out there playing and he don't know what happened. I think she said something to make me upset and I snapped. And when I woke up, I don't remember. I just choked her and she was on the ground dead. And then the officer said, was there a sexual component? Was there any sexual component with that? He was like, no. He said, are you sure now? Are you sure there was not a sexual component? You didn't have, anything like that. No, 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 no. Well, let me backtrack that. Hold on. There may have been a sexual component. So now they may have been one. Okay. All right. Well, I hear you. So come to find out he had been molesting her for a while. They went out in the woods and had sex and he blacked out and killed her. He said this wasn't planned. He didn't mean to do it. He doesn't remember doing it. This is what our children have to look forward to. I'm listening to. I watched it twice because I showed baby because she was playing the game. So I watched it twice. So I showed her, and the second time pissed me off more than the first time because I watched it all the way to the end because she came in on like almost the end, and I hadn't watched it all the way to the end, but I watched it. I rewatched it from like the first 20 minutes till almost the end. And he's going on and going on. And he's telling, and he's telling the story. And as the story gets told more, he keeps adding, about the sex and da 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 da. And he killed her. And then they get to talking about her. Yeah, I know where she is. I can take you to where she is. She's buried 2, 3, 4 feet down. I'll show you where she is. And then here's where I really get pissed off. It wasn't that he snapped and realized that this little girl could be a hard road to hoe for him because he's having sex with a 14-year-old. And he just snapped. He planned to kill her. He pre-dug the grave. He lured her out there because to her, they're in some kind of relationship. He loves her. You can see she doesn't understand she's being abused. On some level, I'm sure she does. But to her, this person cares about her. He's showing her attention. He's showing her something. This same person lures her out to the woods, rapes her, kills her, and then buries her in a grave that he dug beforehand so it could be deep enough for her to be in. And then he uses a note that he said he made her write as a joke. But he's been planning to kill this little girl because he's been having sex with her. This is what our children have to look forward to when you don't have parents. A mama and a boyfriend in the house, and the stepdaddy is doing what he wants with this little girl. It wasn't just the stepdaddy as far it was, I don't know about, but the little boy, the older son, he was violent. Because you could hear some of the videos him talking about, I told you I was going to hurt you again. I watched this twice and I felt so bad for this little girl. She wasn't my baby. She wasn't my relative. But I looked at this little girl, and there are millions of this little girl out here looking for any kind of attention, any kind of affection, and dying for it. Police not involved because the parents are. Police won't look for runaways. Absolutely right. What's word too late. Miss Kirkland, there's no account yet. All right. I want to make sure. Let me drop down. I had to look and see where everybody was. Talking about. Here's why I don't understand it. The police don't look for runaways. There is a certain age to where you can't be on your own. If I were to put 14-year-old Nick out on the street, I would go to jail, and Nick would go to CPS. So you tell me that a 14-year-old, just because I don't put them out and they run away, you just ignore them? Nobody looking for her just because she ran away? But if I'd put out, come on now, she is 14. What job she about to get that ain't illegal? Wasn't like she was a precocious 14. Wasn't like she was mature for her age 14. It was a 14-year-old going on 10. Still act like a little child. Hold on. Hey, Elder Boo. Skirt, please, son. I, I don't know, y'all. I I know my words are just because I got to get them out. Somebody right now plotting on having a baby so that this person will stay with them, knocking up this girl so she won't leave him or so she won't stop messing with him. I don't want to marry her, but I don't want to mess with nobody else. So if she have a baby by me, I can always go hit that. He don't want to marry me. He don't even want to claim me. But a baby will change him. It'll make him a man. I am flabbergasted and befuddled. I'm buttlegasted. I'm befuddlegasted that this shit is still going on, and that I gotta keep making uh chit chats, talks, lives about this shit. And this is not, we're not a third world country. We're not a nation of we're not, we are quote unquote Greatest country in the earth. We are a superpower, and we can't even take care of our kids. We can't even take care of the children, but we're a superpower. We want to tell women that they have no choice in the matter. We want to tell women that they can't have an abortion. We want to put doctors in jail. We want to put mothers in jail. But we also want to cancel EBT, get rid of WIC, phase out TANF, get rid of free lunches, ban books, rewrite history, cover up our daughters, and ignore our sons. Do you think you are making your son a man by ignoring him and letting him do what he want to do? Do you think she's not going to have an intimate relationship with somebody else because you cover her up and hide in a closet? How many preachers' kids went buck wild when they got loose? Don't worry, I'll wait. How many of my kids won't do that, made their parents, grandparents at 40? I didn't raise them that way, kids. Hold on, y'all. Let me look at the chat. She's doing something on her life or her mom and dad. She might have something going on in her life or her mom and dad are not ready for children. Always. Well, yeah. Even if the parents are worried, the police still wouldn't do anything if the child is said to be a runaway, has history of being a runaway. I don't get that. Oh, don't make no mistake. I blame the society. I blame society and the system as well. I don't just blame the parents because guess what? You can have great intentions when you bringing kids into the world. As a mother, you can in your head you are 100% ready for this baby. You are ready to be somebody's mama. You are ready. I'm ready, and then the baby get here, and you got postpartum depression. You have hormonal changes that are affecting you in a crazy way. You feel like you're not bonding with the baby. I understand that there are some things you can't avoid. I understand that there are some things you can't plan for when you have a baby. All that. So I blame the system as well. If you need help from the system, they make you feel like a pariah, an outcast. They make you feel like you're not good enough for anything because you need help. People giving birth, it is amazing how dangerous it is to give birth in America. Doctors don't listen to you. Nurses don't listen to you. People around you don't listen to you. Everybody got something to say. Everybody got advice. Everybody know. I'm one of the everybody. It's they want to make it extra hard for you to get food stamps so you can feed your kid. They want you to have 13 different references to get childcare so you can go back to work. Or they want to put you in the childcare that nobody else want because they don't want to get good childcare. They want cheap childcare. They want to cut programs that help children. to overfund things that don't. They'll spend more on making the police look good than they will on the free lunches for your kids to eat at school. Cause sometimes, y'all, that's the only time that child is gonna eat lunch and breakfast at school. But don't get a quarter raise because your ass won't get it no more. If you're not disabled, you gotta have a job. Cause if you ain't got no job, you can't get food stamps. Bitch, if I had a job, I might not need food stamps. We got a housing program, but it ain't open all the time. And you got to get on the list. And you may be on the list for 4 or 5 years, but eventually we'll get you. After you've been homeless and in shelters and lost everything, hell, lost your kids. People will have lost their kids waiting on Section 8. They want you to have the babies, but they won't help you with them. Sometimes mamas just need somewhere to go to talk to another adult for a little while. I stayed home with Nick 6 months before I went back to work. And I promise you, I was so ready to go back to work. For talking to an infant for 6 months, I'm about to lose my mind. But did I miss my baby the whole time? Yeah. Wondering what he was doing. Pissed off that wasn't there when he was changing and growing up. But I still had to work. Gotta do what you gotta do. It's a, it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, I guess. These are your kids. I'm getting ready to get off here, y'all. I've been on here a little while. I'm getting ready to get off here and give y'all a night back. These are your kids. Yes, you did raise them that way. Bad or good. I want to thank everybody for coming out and joining me. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Thank y'all so much for giving me your time. You didn't have to do that. Make sure you like this video if you haven't already liked this video. Comment down below. You know what to do. Share this video because maybe somebody needs to hear it. Subscribe if y'all like what you heard. If y'all like what you see, come on back, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video go live, you guys can join us. Hug your babies, love your kids, love your nieces, your nephews. When they knock on the door, open it. That's all I can say. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. This is your girl Lisa. And it's Wednesday and I'm gone, y'all. Bye, y'all.